How did watching Fast and Furious lead to 15 years of prison? Christian and I had been working as mechanics at the same shop for 3 years when his father died last spring. The funeral hit him hard because even while dying, his father had called him a disappointment for choosing mechanics over law school. After that, Christian started staying late every weekend coping by watching Fast and Furious movies in the break room. Look how they treat each other. That's real family. This went on for months, until one night, Christian looked at me with tears in his eyes. I want a family like that. I patted his back and agreed. Let's do it. Christian started organizing Fast and Furious meetups at the shop, bringing together dozens of fans who'd show off their builds. He quit his job to open a custom garage specializing in movie replica cars, and customers commissioned expensive builds, calling him a visionary. I helped him renovate the space, convinced we were building something revolutionary. He got Ride or Die tattooed across his knuckles and legally changed his name to Dominic, but lots of superfans did extreme things. Other enthusiasts praised his attention to detail when he spent his entire inheritance on authentic parts. His girlfriend joked about him quoting Dom during arguments, but found it endearing. When he insisted everyone call him Dom at the shop, we indulged him. Even when he started testing customer cars without permission, claiming real racers share everything, I'd cover for him with customers, explaining it was part of our family garage philosophy. The first real warning sign was when Christian punched a customer who accidentally called him by his birth name. "It's Dom!" he screamed. Customers started avoiding the shop after that. With business declining, Christian shifted focus to organizing illegal street races in residential neighborhoods. When cops shut it down, he just moved the races elsewhere, insisting, "We're honoring the underground culture." I went along with it, helping coordinate locations, my hands shaking as I texted addresses. When money got tight, and Christian convinced me to help him steal parts to keep the shop running. We started small, siphoning from suppliers' shipments. Each theft made my stomach turn, but I couldn't stop him, not until he brought a teenage crew to strip cars at a rival shop's lot. I watched these kids loading stolen engines while Christian quoted Dom, "The most important thing in life will always be family, and sometimes family needs to take what's theirs." One boy's hands trembled as he worked, his face covered in engine grease and tears as he asked when he'd get a break. Something in me snapped. "This isn't a movie, Christian. You're actually destroying other shops. I'm not gonna be a part of this anymore." Christian's face went cold. He patted the trembling kid's shoulder, quoting, "You never turn your back on family, even when they do." I knew I'd lost him. 4 days after I quit, Christian called me about initiating new family members with real excitement in his voice. When I arrived at the abandoned lot, I found 2 scrawny preteen brothers sitting in heavily modified Civics with illegal nitrous systems. Their hands visibly shook on the steering wheels, heads barely visible through the windshield. "Just like Brian's first race," Christian said proudly, clapping the older kid's shoulder through the window. The boy flinched but tried to look tough. Christian explained the race route carefully. My eyes widened when I realized it went straight through the elementary school's pickup zone. "You can't race through a school zone. There'll be kids everywhere," he shrugged. So, the movie had obstacles too. Anyway, school lets out in 5 minutes. You're either family or you're a cop. Which is it? The younger brother was sobbing, begging, "Please, I can't drive stick." His foot kept slipping off the clutch. He whimpered as Christian started the cars remotely, engines screaming. "Remember, yellow light means speed up," he shouted over the noise. The kids took off just as parents started flooding the pickup area. The younger one immediately lost control. His tires screamed as he jumped the sidewalk. A mother yanked her young daughter out of the way, but the car caught the girl's backpack and dragged her 20 feet before it sheared off. Her screams mixed with the shriek of rubber. Her pink shoes tumbled off as she clawed at the asphalt, leaving bloody streaks behind her small body. The older brother tried to avoid a minivan and spun out. He slammed into the crossing guard who had just managed to shove 3 kids clear. The guard took the full impact. His body rolled off the hood and hit the pavement with a wet thud. "My baby! Someone help my baby!" the mother wailed, cradling her daughter's torn hands. Christian cheered like he was watching the movie live. When sirens filled the air, his celebration stopped. "We gotta go now!" he shouted, already running toward his car. "Grab the tanks, I'll fetch the kids. They passed the test. They're family now," he said with a grin like he was celebrating. I called 911 instead, frantically giving them his location. Christian's face went dark. He grabbed a wrench and swung at my head, spit flying from his mouth as he quoted, "You broke my heart. Now I'll break your neck." I dodged the wrench and pinned Christian down until cops arrived. He got 15 years for orchestrating the attack. During the trial, Christian screamed movie quotes about betrayal, while those brothers testified with cracking voices about being forced to race. Now Christian just writes me from prison about his new crew inside. Worst of all, last week I saw one of his students teaching neighborhood kids to drift in a school parking lot, worshiping Christian's race and his idea of family.